Hello, Atlanta voice.
It's got to be the processing, because take off your earphones. I sound like one of the chipmunks, man. You know what it is? It's the nice, warm Chicago accent.
Are you a
feel
smoker?
at home.
You smoke to?
Well, I consider that show prep, because in this business, you got to, a couple of cigarettes here and there. Right. But I'm not a singer. I don't have to worry about damaging my voice. But welcome back to Atlanta.
Thank you.
A lot of history with this town.
Absolutely, and a lot of history with the station, too.
True. This is kind of like a little full circle thing as far as venue-wise, because back in 92, when were you shooting Euphoria? 92?
93.
93?
Is this the same place?
This
is the old center stage?
This is the old center stage, but it's not the...
Where they used to tape WCW.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But that was an interesting 3 shows, because it started out at the Variety Playhouse, and then you switched. Do you remember that?
Yes, now you're reminding me.
Bringing back some memories.
There's some cobwebs there, but yes, I remember now. I can see it in my mind.
And what was the problem with that? Because normally you were set up to shoot 3 shows at the Variety Playhouse for this video, and then the first night, I know people that were at the show and said that the security was killing the show.
Yeah, that's a really faint memory, but something happened where we were like, let's get out of here. This is bogus. There was a lot of, people look back and they say, the heydays of grunge, but there were a lot of situations when we would go into a venue where the people were happy to have a sold out show. But when they saw people go absolutely mental, they would flip out.
Right.
Because they'd never seen anything like that.
No.
People were jumping off, balconies and...
Because 5 years before that, it was the hair metal scene, and the worst thing that would happen is the chick would pull up her shirt and the guy would puke Jack Daniels on the floor. Yeah,
one time we were on Long Island, and a guy actually came on stage during the show, a security guard, a guy for the club, and pulled me aside on stage in front of the entire audience and flashed a gun and said, "You better calm this down."
Really?
Because they were freaking out. Kids flying through the air. It's like, wow,
right.
I've never seen 1,000 people do that.
No, and it's some of the stage dives back in the day, at least the one on video for, I think, Pearl Jam's a live video when Eddie drops from the balcony. It's just crazy. And it was Due Time, and what's Lewis's favorite band? They just Clutch. Clutch just had a big lawsuit because somebody, a couple of kids snapped their neck when somebody dove. And I know then all of a sudden, crowd gets crazy. People aren't used to this. But at a certain point, you guys took a stance in the Pumpkins, and you were like, all right, enough is enough, because you had a tragedy at one of your shows.
Well, even before that, it was ruining the shows. It went from being like a cool expression of the joy of the moment to let's go to the show and jump around and harass girls. And, you talk to girls and guys were sticking hands up skirts and mosh pits and the girls are pinned in. And we got a woman in the band. At some point it's like, this is not date rape night. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we took, and then we had a death at one of our shows. It was the most devastating things. And so we just said, that's it. We implemented new security measures, which are actually still being used, to split the audiences in half. And thankfully we worked with some people to do that. And that became sort of part of the industry standard. And we publicly came out and said, we don't care if people don't want to come, no moshing, And of course people still do it. We had some guy come over the barricade the other night. We were shocked, It's like my Artie album, we're like, here comes this guy over the. It was like, wow, it's like flashback.
They'll mosh to anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially
they used to mosh. They used to mosh to disarm. Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to mosh to disarm.
Frail and bedazzled, okay, but disarm, a little bit more laid back. Not really getting it. Matt, so you're in Billy's solo band here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you play?
Drums of sorts.
Matt was in Filter.
Oh.
He was the Filter drummer.
I was in Filter.
He was actually in Smashing Pumpkins there for a while.
Yeah. I've kind of made the rounds a bit.
Yeah.
Played with Garbage.
Yep. And actually playing their new record.
For Garbage's new record?
Garbage new record, yeah.
Was Butch Vig being too much of a dictator behind the board? He couldn't get behind the drum kit?
No, I think he just wanted to focus more on producing than worrying about the beats of the record. So I think it was just as easy to have someone come in and try different things, and he could just listen and say yes, no.
I hear the record is garbage, though.
Yeah, they usually are.
Bleed Like Me. We like to bleed like me.
All right, let's play some music.
All right, who's got
my
the
station takeover?
Yeah, that's right. It's the Hot Hot Heat.
Yeah, let's play the Hot Hot Heat single.
All right,
I like this. I like this
is
band. Partially from Chicago.
Middle of nowhere. Hot, hot. Partially. Where's the other band from? Are they
Apparently, the rest of them are Canadian.
Canadian,
Which completely
yeah.
negates the Chicago factor. It's sort of a wash, but I do like this band.
All right, we're checking it out. It's Billy's Takeover tonight, the sold-out Billy Corgan solo show, Earthlink Live, and The Future Embrace is the CD. We might get to some of that stuff, but for right now, Billy wants to hear Hot, Hot Heat.